All right. I think we have enough people who are waiting and have been on time. Thank you very much. So I'm hoping I can let other people join a bit later. But right now, there are a lot of us on screen, and we are a go. It's the Cape Town Triathlon, the RSA Web Cape Town Triathlon 2023. It's our second year. We had a great year last year, thanks to the heavens. They gave us the best weather day in history. No wind, warm sea, glassy, sunshine. It was amazing. So praying for a great day, but at the same time acknowledging that there is wind. Southeaster predicted. We are luckily, for the first time this year, one of the only events that's protected from the Southeaster. When it roars, it flattens everything, but we are in the wind bubble of the Atlantic seaboard. So we've got the big Lions Head and Signal Hill keeping the wind away. And hopefully it'll be the best place to be, to either celebrate the win or to lick our wounds and say getting to the final was good enough. 1 point for each of those wins was a narrow one. So if we lose in the final, I think we've done ourselves proud anyway. So thank you firstly very, very much for joining the event. We are hugely grateful. Sorry, 1 second. It's going to take me a while. We are hugely grateful for your support. We could never do this without athletes. We obviously are thrilled to have the likes of RSA Web behind us. Without a partner, this would never get off the ground. Without the city of Cape Town, who've been amazing. The police, the health and safety, traffic, you name it, they are amazing. We've had meetings with them for 4 months now. You must know how much work goes into putting together a race in the city of Cape Town. I have sympathy for the cycle tour, Two Oceans, etc., with 20, 30,000 people going to the city. It's a huge job. Doing a race in the city versus Langebaan or Hermanus is a different ballgame. So I'm thrilled that we have partners like we have, because without them, it would never happen. But most importantly, we've got 450 adults and about 150 kids going to come and play with us on Sunday. I hope, obviously we all hope, that it's a SA win day. We are super amped for the box. And as I said on the WhatsApp group, if you just drink water and you sleep in the afternoon after your last session and you look after yourself, eating properly and drinking with a conscience and a little bit of Rachmarke and a breakfast and have everything prepared, you will be fine. And you'll be stoked that when you get home and everyone's still tossing on the couch, you would have done a triathlon. So well done to you for braving the elements, for coming on board with us. We couldn't help being on the Sunday, but that was just the day the city gave us, and that's how the city works. When you want to event in the city, you have to play by the rules of the city. And we're very lucky to be called the Cape Town Triathlon, because there's only one Cape Town in the world, and we've got the city triathlon happening right here. So you're very lucky. We're very lucky, and we can't wait to get going. So without further ado, let's get into the race briefing. Can you all see, maybe Jonna or someone, or Jan, if you could just tell me if you can see the race briefing, if you've got a screen of a gent looking out onto the swim course? Yeah. I'm hoping.
No,
so.
There's nothing on the screen. We can't see you.
You can't see the race
from my side.
Can only hear you.
No, you can't see me. I don't want you to see me. I want you to see the race briefing.
No, nothing.
Yeah, we can see it.
We can see it.
Okay.
I can see a screen open with it says race briefing. Okay.
Correct. With the swimmers staring out to sea.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you. That's what you're supposed to be seeing. So we'll get into it. The race is on Sunday morning. There is no bike racking on Saturday. There's no registration on Saturday. It all happens on Sunday. Nice and easy. Pack all your goed. Be ready before the braai starts in the morning. Get up, eat, go to the loo, put on your kit, and come to the start. You can stay in moron mode while you sleep off your dear Macarnus. So it's happening at 6 in the morning. I'll talk you through some times in a moment. But race racking, bike racking, and shoe racking is at 6. Will be finished by 3. So that's your rough window of the day. Let's go through the details. So the race registration is at the Grand Beach. Saturday, 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock. So we'll be setting up in the morning. Don't come at 8 or 9 and stand and stare at us, because we are only open from 10 for race registration. The Grand Beach, I'm sure you all know, it's the place next to the farmers market, the old Oranienburg market. It's next to Oceana Powerboat Club. It's right next to the waterfront. Parking and traffic is going to be hectic on Saturday. They've got, as I mentioned on the group earlier, we've got Halloween parties. We've got the concert in the stadium. We've got a whole lot, obviously, the market itself. So it's going to be busy. You need to ideally park further away, maybe the waterfront or something. Obviously, there is parking at the Grand Beach, but then not if you're going to stick around the whole day and have lunch and stuff. Rather just give our athletes a chance to park, come and register and go. Okay, it's going to be there. You bring your own bag. Okay, we don't want to be one of these races that gives you a bag every time you turn around. And like at certain races here, you go to the bins afterwards and there's miles and miles of bags full of plastic that was used once. That's not what we want to do. Bring your backpack, bring your beach bag, your handbag, whatever you feel like, because your t-shirt, your cap, your race numbers, etc. is going to go into that. So you won't have a bag, bring your own bag. You can register for a friend. You just have to give us your race number and their ID number, and you can register for them. Obviously, they've got to trust you that you're going to pick up all their stuff and that you are organized on your side. Because if you say you didn't know or you didn't receive something, it's up to them. They need to check that they've got a timing chip for you, your race number, that the race number is the correct race number, that it's your name, etc. That's their responsibility. Okay. There we go. Hopefully Peter's the last guy. I'm not going to bother too much with watching people joining now. So Saturday, okay? The restaurant will be open. If you want to have a drink or lunch or come and look at the swim exit, walk around, look at the area, the route, the general route around there, that's correct. They serve amazing food. Your family will love you. Sit out on the beach at Grand Beach, looking out over the sea. Everywhere else is going to be windy. There shouldn't be too much wind there because it's southeast on Saturday. So it should be a lucky place to be. Most other places in Cape Town will be roaring on Saturday. So don't feel panicky. I don't know if anybody has ever been to Clifton on a southeaster day. It's paradise. It feels like Mauritius on a calm, perfect day. There's no wind on the side. So let's hope we get the same thing. It all depends on the slight angles of the wind. We could just catch some at the end at the Grand Beach, and we could just catch some at the far end at Granger Bay, unlikely, at Bantry Bay. But we should be pretty wind-free. I'm hoping and praying that we don't get any wind because we don't like wind, but we don't mind it. We're used to it in Cape Town. So that's Saturday. Have a drink, have lunch, enjoy the space, go for your last swim from there, go for a run back. The gym's nice close by. Go and run the 5K route. A lot of it should be signed or marked by Saturday afternoon. It's a 5K route. It's pretty much the park run route through the park round. I'll show you in a second, but have a look around, please. We know we had mistakes at Race to Hermanus. There were marshals in the wrong place. There was in the wrong place on the route because there was roadworks, unplanned roadworks on Saturday morning. They sent the people to the wrong side of the road, so those people couldn't see the route markers, and then they started asking marshals who didn't have a clue. The marshals are only there to keep the route safe. Make sure you know the route in advance so that you aren't going to follow someone else who's getting lost and you don't hope to see an arrow that you might miss. Just get to know the course. It's only a 5K run course. It's only a 10K bike course. Okay, so it's a good idea when you're in the area to drive it, walk it, ride it on a mountain bike or bicycle, whatever you like. Get familiar with the course. It's so nice when you know the course well on race day. Okay. Right, order of events. Just let me know if I ever cut off any screens. 6 o'clock Sunday morning, 6 hours after we've become the double world champions, we are opening what's called the A track. Okay, the A track is the Greenpoint Athletics, not the Greenpoint Athletics track, where we finished last year with the blue tartan. It's the one opposite McDonald's. Okay, as in closer to town, towards the waterfront. That one, next to Deloitte's offices. It's that big stadium there where people have their driver's licenses and stuff. It's the one literally across the robots from McDonald's and right next to the flyover. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, at 6 o'clock, that'll open. You would by then have parked, probably if I were you, I'd park in Greenpoint, just across the road near Giovanni's and all that, on that side, bootlegger side. Then walk under the flyover, which is actually going to be your run and bike access up to the stadium later in the route on the race. So you can get an idea of that. Then you're going to come there and you're going to put your running shoes and any running gear, so cap, sunnies, whatever you want, you're going to put under your rack where your race number is. So you need to know your race number. That's your individual race number. There will be little stickers 5 of them on each rack, 3 on one side, 2 on the other side. Under your race rack, you put your running shoes on the ground as if your bike's there, but your bike's not there. You're just putting it right where your bike will go the next day. So you put your running shoes, if you like, and I recommend, if you're the sort of person who really needs socks, over 5 and 10 Ks, you don't really need them. But if you have got sensitive feet and you've not run in running shoes without socks in running shoes before, then by all means put socks in. But I would certainly suggest that you don't wear socks on the bike because your feet don't move in your cycling shoes. And you want to, after a swim with wet shoes, wet feet, getting shoes on is difficult. Rather get your shoes on, get out of transition, get onto the bike course, catch those wheels, get moving. You're going to have more time and more need for recovery when you finish the bike, and you're going to want to have a little bit of time maybe to put on your socks and shoes. But things like socks and gloves and sunscreen, that's ultra distance triathlon stuff. Shorten the time, shorten your windows in transition. If you haven't done a transition, practice one. Tomorrow morning, go for a swim, then jump on your bike, or come home from a bike and have your running shoes in your garage, pop them on and go for a quick run. It's also very good for your body to be used to the feeling of being upright when you've been down in the bike position. So a good idea to practice your transitions. You ask Richard Murray, and then 2 or 3 seconds can change the game in a short distance triathlon. If you're going to get a good time or do well, shorten that time. That's what I recommend. But yeah, socks, shoes, sunglasses, cap, whatever it is that you need on the running route, put it right under your race number. Jono Rumbelow from Western Province Triathlon, TSA, CTTA, he's on this call. He made the call, no towels on the ground. So you only have your shoes and stuff on the grass under your rack. So find your race number. The end of the racks will be numbered with which number. So it'll be 1 to 50, 50 to 100, 51 to 100, etc. Find your rack, then walk down the rack, find your sticker, put your shoes neatly underneath there. Then look around and say, okay, my shoes are in the second row. I'm 2 bike racks from the end. I'm on the left-hand side. I'm in line with that light pole over there. I'm next to that molehill. Work it out. Go in and out. Walk back out, walk back in again, as if you're doing a car and you've just done a swim and bike. Run in and go, will I find it? Second turn to the right, find my shoe. Okay, so think about that, because normally you've got a whole bike to look at and recognize your orange bike or whatever. Now you've got no bike. You're going to have to recognize your shoe. So work out where your bike is. So you can come and have a look. The bike racks will be up on Saturday. You can come and have a look on the field if you like. If you want to come and walk into the A track, you're welcome. Come and have a little stroll. Don't park near us. Park away and walk to the track. We'll be there. You can come and look at your bike rack, where your shoes are going to go and where your bike will come when you're finished, with pleasure. But work it out. I was just at World Champs in Finland and also in Ibiza this year. Nothing more frustrating than seeing people who had a great swim or a great bike going up and down, trying to find their bike and their helmet. It's terrible. It's heartbreaking. It's such a waste of time. So enough said about that. 6 o'clock that opens. It'll be open until just before the race starts, but you better be out of there long before 8 because the race starts at 8. 6:30, T1 opens. That's down at Grand Beach. That's about 900 meters of walking, or call it a kilometer. It's an easy walk down from the A track down to Grand Beach. Down at Grand Beach, you'll find our T1, okay, in the Grand Beach parking lot, okay? You then come down there. You've already got your timing chip because we're giving you your timing chips at race briefing, at registration on Saturday. You'll have it on your ankle, which I told you should sleep with on your ankle on Saturday night with your little own strap. So you bring your own strap or you buy your own strap to attach to your Z Sports timing chip. Boom. That goes on there through this little piece of Velcro. Don't forget it, because if you don't have your timing chip, you won't do the race. You won't have a time and you won't have a finished time. It won't show that you've done it. And if you're doing the Cape Town Triple Tri, you just have to finish to get your third race to get your medal. Everything means you've got to have this on. Don't lose this, because you're going to get a huge bill. I think the bill is 450 or 500 Rand if you don't hand this chip in at the finish. So if you're not going to race, you wake up sick, come to the finish and come and give us your chip, because otherwise it's going to cost you a lot. Okay, so 6:30 T1 opens down at Grand Beach. If you want, you can park down at the parking next to Randesig Market. I'm going to talk through it just now. But my recommendation is park on the mountain side of the main road, of the big road that goes over the flyover, and walk under the flyover to the A track and then walk down to Grand Beach. That's my recommendation. Otherwise, park in the waterfront, say, as an example. The waterfront parking, the one on the roof's not very expensive. Walk up to the Grand Beach, or you walk up to the A-track, drop off your running shoes and stuff, and then go drop your bike off at the start. Okay. So your bike is racked at Grand Beach. Your running shoes are at the A-track. It's not like last year. Please, anyone who did it last year and thinks it'll be the same and they just have to do the same, it's not. We've got 2 transitions this year, costing us a lot more money, but we want to take the flow away from in and out of Grand Beach. It was a bit of chaos there last year with people coming in and out over such short window with the sprint we had 450 people doing the sprint. In and out, it was hectic. We don't want that. We want to have you now leaving Grand Beach with your bike, and then you come in and you drop your bike off at the A-track. I'll show you on the maps in a moment. So the standard wave starts at 8 o'clock in your wave by your race number. So in other words, if you've got race number 1, you will start in the first wave. So I will announce the race numbers, but we've got 4 waves. So it's going to be 1 to 50, 51 to 100, 101 to 150, 151 to 200 plus. Okay, there's a race number. Okay, it says at the bottom, sprint solo. That means I know I'm doing the sprint. It's red. I think the standard is black. And it says solo, so I'm not in a team. My race number's on there. And I've got my, bike tag to match. Okay? The bike tag, as you know, I'll show you in a moment, goes around your seat post. So this must be on. This guy is a sprint guy. He's not starting at 8. Standard starts at 8 in waves. So I'll call you through. We're going to start the waves 3 minutes apart. Don't worry if you think, oh, I'm going to lose because someone's in a different wave. There's no seeding. It's just on when you enter the race. Your race number is according to when you enter the race. You will then go through. So the early birds get the first wave. Great. About time. You guys, so your time is from when you start swimming to when you finish running. It's the same for everybody. Michael, no, the teams will be shown where to stand at both transitions. Yeah, we'll talk about where the teams stand in a moment. You'll generally stand outside transition and receive it from your receive your timing chip, which is your relay baton, from your colleague, from your teammate, who then comes through transition and gives it to you to then take off from the other side. Okay, but we'll talk through that in a moment. So at 8 o'clock, the first wave goes off. 8:03, the second wave. 8:06, 8:09. Okay, those are your 4 waves during the swim. At 8:40, the first sprint wave goes. Same story. I think this is it. I don't know how to say Dongle Wu from, we've got a lot of overseas people. I love it. Dongle, you're off first in the sprint. And that's at 8:40, 8:43, 8:46, 8:49. Okay. 11 o'clock. This is very important for family people. Tell your family and friends we've got a really cool little cross-country course set up at the field at the finish. They can bring their mountain bikes or their running shoes or Calfoot. We're going to have cross-country runs and cross-country rides for different age groups. 2 to 5, 6 to 9, 9 plus. We're going to have a fun thing. How many laps are you going to do? That's really cool. It's for a really cool charity called Amazing Grace. You don't pay an entry fee, but we'd love you guys to contribute because Amazing Grace is doing amazing things in Westlake, looking after kids who don't have access to schooling or parents or care, etc. Especially kids with special needs. They focus on that. So that's our partner. They're running the Amazing Grace. They're running the kids races for us. If you've got a kid, they're going to be amped from watching you do triathlon all morning. They're going to want to do something themselves. We give them a certificate. We're giving them sunglasses, caps, T-shirts. RSA Web have gone the extra mile. Rudy, our sponsor, loves kids. We love kids. I love kids. We love seeing kids active and off their cell phones and in nature and being active as families. Bring the kids. If they're under 13, they're going to have a chore. So that starts from 11, until prize giving at 1 at the green point. Not like last year at Grand Beach. We're having the prize giving at the field. Kids will get certificates. We'll have lucky draws for prizes. People will get medals, etc. And from 12:30 to 3, both the transitions open up for your gear checkout. Okay. If there are any questions on the order of events, just unmute and ask me now. Okay. Sounds like I said more than enough. Okay, gear check. Wetsuit, for sure. The chances of it being over 16 are low, but it is actually right now over 16. I paddled this morning and it's warm. It just happens to be a lot of sunny days. It's lekker, but the chances of it being over 15.9 or lower are high. So have a long wetsuit. You are allowed to use a short wetsuit covering your torso, but I wouldn't suggest that. For the sake of buoyancy, speed, comfort, warmth, long swimming wetsuits. Surf wetsuits are fine, they're just slow. They aren't smooth, you don't glide through the water, and they're not as flexible for your shoulders. It's very important. We'll talk just now on the swim. You have a swim warm-up. You must get used to the cold water. Don't stand around for 2 hours in a wetsuit boiling and then jump into the freezing cold water, because you could have a panic attack. I'm warning you, don't do that. It's horrible getting in the first time. We all know, anyone who goes to Clifton, etc. Get in the first time, walk in a little bit, get your feet and hands wet, then get out a little bit, then go in again. And each time you do that, you rinse water through your wetsuit, get your face used to it, have a swim, do some short intervals, get the heart rate up, then get out the water and come stand in the sun for 15, 20 minutes, whatever, before you start. The swim warm-up will start from 7:30. Lifeguards will be in place, but you must be out of the water 10:02, latest 5:02 when race briefing, swim last race swim orientation happens, and then we're getting underway at 8. Okay, so you need wetsuit. Obviously, you need goggles, unless you're one of those people who can handle saltwater eyes. You're going to be given an SMG. Thank you to the SM, the Motor Group guys in the waterfront who sell the Minis and BMWs. Great partners. They've provided you each with a wetsuit, with a swim cap and a neoprene swim cap. So a silicone swim cap. So thank you very much to SMG. You need your bike with no TT bars, no TT bikes. So don't. If you've got a TT bike that you've taken the handlebars off and you've put normal curly bars on, that's fine. But I don't think many people will have one of those. So, but no tri-bars allowed, because it is a draft legal race and they never allow TT bikes or tri-bars. Your chin strap, your chip strap, that's your helmet in a second. Your timings chip strap, I've already mentioned it. That's this little guy. If you haven't got your own, you can probably buy one at Expo. We'll have people there at the registration on the day selling them. But if they run out, it's going to be a problem. So try and get your own one. Once you've got one of these things, you can keep it in your cupboard, and it's like a race belt. You can keep it for ages. You can use it over and over again. Okay, your helmet, no cracks, and also a nice fixed chin strap. Don't arrive with it dangling down here or that it can't connect. No cracks. And I say no cracks. I once went to a race in Europe. I thought my helmet was perfect. And the guy opened it and he looked and he said, there's a tiny crack. Can't race. So I had to go and buy a flipping $5,000 or $3,000, whatever it was, expensive European helmet at Expo. It cost me a lot. So it's because they lose their integrity. If you fall with a helmet that's got a crack, it's not going to save your nut. So check that your helmet's got no cracks. Have a good look inside. Check that the strap works and check that it's nice and firm on your pip. And remember, a reminder again, you never touch your bike without your helmet on your head. You only take your helmet off when you put your bike down, and you only take your bike off the rack when your helmet's on. So your helmet is always on. If you're riding to the start in the morning, your helmet is on. It's actually the case that if a ref sees you riding around on your bike without a helmet on race day, they can DQ you right there. So keep your helmet on all the time. It's just obvious. It's safe. Okay? Road running shoes. Yes, you can handle trail shoes if that's all you've got, but it's a road race. It's a road run. So road running shoes. Hat, cap, sunnies. Obviously bring this up. Not a lot of sun or sunburn, but it looks cool and it absorbs sweat or whatever. If you want one, obviously bring it with you. Transition boxes. Okay, this is very important. You can't use a bag. Okay? You can't use a packet. You can't use a bag with straps. You can't use a backpack. Don't bring them because they're going to be taken away. Okay? You can only bring a plastic box. We're recommending, as it says there, 40 by 40. If you want to go to Mambo's or Addis or one of those shops that sells plastic boxes, I recommend those trays, almost like an apple tray. Actually, the apple trays, those sort of fruit and veggie things that you get at Fruit and Veg City or Food Lovers, those big plastic tray crates, they've got holes in so they drain if it's raining or your wetsuit water will drain out. You can get things with lids if you prefer to keep your stuff dry in transition. You buy one of these, you can use it at all our races, for example, but a lot of races are using those worldwide now. I know Mike's stuff from People's Try, etc., they only use plastic boxes as well. But the reason why we don't want any bags with straps, etc., is that if someone hooks a pedal on or runs past and catches your bag's going to go flying. They're going to go flying and you're going to cry when you get in and you can't find your stuff. So use a plastic stable box, bring it with you. We'll give you a sticker in your pack. Let me just show you what the sticker looks like. It's ambushing Dongli Wu's pack here. There's your sticker that goes on your bike box. Okay, that's sorry, not your bike box, your Transition 1 box. Okay, the reason why Transition is the one that needs the box mostly. You can have 2 boxes if you want to put one up at transition 2. No tiles, as I mentioned. But your transition 1 is going to be, the bike racks are going to be removed after the last swimmer has left on their bike. We're then going to put all those boxes down along the side, and someone's going to stay there with them until you come and fetch them after the race. That's why you have to have a box. You can't just leave it on the floor because you'll never get it back again. So T1, you need a plastic box with lid or without lid, ideally 40 by 40 roughly. Don't come with something else. Okay. If you've got 2, wonderful. Put them both in transition, put transition 2. But transition 2's only got your running stuff, your running shoes pretty much. And when you come in, you're going to put your bike there, put on your running shoes. When you leave, you can take it all with you. One word of recommendation is if you have got a friend, if you're part of a club, the club gazebos are going up on the field. I'll actually show you that in a moment on the map. But if you've got a club, if you're part of a club, ask your club manager if they've got a gazebo there and ask them if they've got someone there. Because if they've got someone there, you can give them anything you want for post-race and they'll be waiting for you afterwards at the gazebo. So that's a good idea if you're part of a club and if your club's got a gazebo there. Okay? Otherwise, you just give it to your family and your family carry it with you for afterwards. Your race number, I've showed you already. Okay? This gets attached to your race belt. Okay? It's got 2 little holes here for you to stick. Race belts have got those little toggles and ropes. You put them through there. I always recommend 1 or 2 safety pins, which you need to bring your own. We don't have them, I'm afraid. We thought we had them in the race packs, but we don't. So put your own safety pin on the day before. Put it, just letting someone in here. Put a safety pin at least onto your race belt because sometimes these corners can break. If you have a hectic race and you sort of tug it or you knock it, it can pull off and then you end up with your photos with a race number looking like this, which is horrible. So put a couple of pins in there. And then remember, on the bike, it's at the back. On the run, it's on the front. So a race belt is an elastic belt you put around you. They'll probably have some for sale at the shop, but if you can, buy one. If you own one or borrow one, they're a good idea, always. Your timing chip I've spoken about. Your bike sticker I've spoken about, the one that goes around your seat post. That's the one I held up just now. This one there, long enough to get around most seat posts. If you've got a massive seat post, you can put it around your chainstay. Okay. On to the next slide. Okay. Race numbers, as I mentioned. There's a picture of a guy racing Race to Hermanus. It's on his bum. He's turned it around so that when the refs or anyone else need to know who he is, they can see it. Okay. Then when you start the run, you rotate it and it's on the front of you. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Team members. The runner and the cyclist have both got team numbers. The swimmer won't have one because it'll be on their hand because you won't see it under the wetsuit. Please, nobody's allowed to swim with their race number. I know you think it saves time under your wetsuit, but it'll get wet, it'll get scrunched up, it'll break. So if anyone's seen swimming with their race number, going into the water or coming out of the water with the race number, you'll get disqualified. No race numbers in the swim. You only put it on once you get onto your bike, when you're changing to get onto your bike. Okay. There's a picture. Okay, race number, sticker around your post, race chip on your left ankle, okay, with the chip facing outward so it gets spotted when the screens come past. Your hands, obviously you can see there, 121, you put your race number, do it at home. We're not doing body marking and transition because everybody arrives there with cream, sweat, queues get long, people get frustrated. Just take a black Koki marker at home and, yes, you can buy timing chip straps and belts at registration on Saturday. There will be a shop. The Tri-Shop team, who's always there, will be there selling these and race belts. So Willem Prinsloo, your answer is yes at registration. Okay, hopefully if they've got enough, but get there early. So you mark your own numbers on the back of your hand with black Koki, write your race number. When you walk into the water, you're going to high five. I'm going to call you forward in groups. As you walk down, you're going to high five someone who's got a race counter. They're going to count you into the water. You just make sure you put your hand out just so we can see your number. And then only race numbers 1 to 50 go into the water, then 51 to 100. That's why we need your race number on the back of your hands. Both hands, because if one hand washes off for any reason, we've got the other hand. So black Koki, nice and thick on the back of your hands. Okay? All clear. If there's any questions, just unmute and just shout my name. So I know you're asking a question. Swim course. As I says there, wetsuit compulsory if it's less than 15.9. All right, you're going to start between these 2 yellow boys. So the swim start is this. If you can, hopefully you can see my cursor. Just if anyone says they can't see my cursor, let me know. My cursor is going down the swim ramp. Okay, So the ramp going into the water is there. That's the launch pad for boats normally. Okay, you would have come across from that triangle there is transition, where your bike will be. You'll then walk around here and into this area. That's the Oceana Boat Club. There's the swimming pool. You're going to walk down the slipway. This is where your warm-up will be. You'll warm up in here and along the front of Grand Beach. The swim exit is about there. You can see the red arrow. The swim exit's there. This is your warm-up area. Okay, so go up and down here. The lifesavers will be around here. You've got 25 minutes before your race, and again, we'll do the same thing again before the sprint. But sprint guys, you're welcome to have a swim early if you want to get early before the standard starts. Okay, then you'll swim straight out. If the wind's not blowing a lot on the water or anything, we might move the course slightly to the left to accommodate any little winds coming through this little channel. But currently the idea is that when you walk down the slipway and you look through the opening of the heads, the opening of the past the slipway, you'll see your first can on the over there. That's a right shoulder can. You'll swim straight to that can, right shoulder. You'll turn down. Here's the V&A waterfront. You'll go past that beach that's just next to the V&A waterfront. You swim down towards shore. You right shoulder again. You swim back across the front. That's Hall Road, the beautiful road where you can normally watch the dolphins from. You swim all the way along there. Then you do your last one. If you're doing the sprint, you'll left shoulder onto shore. If you're doing the standard, you'll turn once and you'll head out back again and do your second lap. So standard, 2 laps, 1.5, sprint, 1 lap, 750. Super easy. Right, 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 left. If you're doing the standard, right, 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 left. Okay. Write your race number on the back of your hands in black Koki before you sweat and put on sunscreen, before you come to the start. Arrive with your numbers on your hands. Right. Bike route. And guys, if you haven't seen any of this or you want to have a look at the live, go to our social media. We've even got videos of the routes. So you can see how it moves along. You can see directions. This is a simple explanation. The bike is 2 laps if you're doing this sprint, 4 laps if you're doing the standard. 2 times 10 is 20, 4 times 10 is 40. Okay, immediate disqualification if you go past over the white line. In certain cases, the white line is part of the course because we're on both sides of the road. But heading along here past, where is it? Okay, we're coming out of here. Here's the transition here. You come up the little road on Hall Road and you turn into Beach Road. That there is the Water Club. That there is the Radisson. That there is the Chef School. This section here has got people who live here and people at the hotel here and people working at the hotel school. That section there, you cannot cross the white line. There'll be cones there. We're even going to put some fencing there to stop you. But if anyone crosses the white line for whatever reason, that's a disqualification. We have to have traffic allowed on the other side of the road. And you would have come screaming around here from the stadium side. There's a bit of a downhill past Hall Road. You've got to keep a look to your right because there are riders joining from T1. So you keep left because riders are coming out of their swim and they're filtering into your lane. So they're filtering from the right-hand side. So riders coming past T1, once you've done your first lap, keep far left. Watch out from your right because riders will be coming in from T1 and pulling into the right-hand channel. Once you've all sped up past the bottom of the golf course there, once it starts flattening, you're all in the race, you're all on each other's wheels. Off we go. All the way along past the putt-putt course, past the lighthouse, turn next to the Shell garage, next to where the people surf ski from. You'll turn right onto the main drag, the most beautiful, most populated running course probably in the world, Atlantic Seaboard. Beautiful and flat and fast. Vickle, Vickle, Vickle. There's the Sea Point swimming pool, the big one. You go around the corner there, straight on that concrete section. You get to the Bantry Bay Circle. You go around it, right to left. Let's let someone in. You go around that circle. It's quite tight. When you come off that circle, it narrows back quite tightly. I'm warning you now. There's going to be warnings. There's going to be hay bales. But if you come around a circle, you've done a 360-degree turn. Well, it's 180, and then you're coming back right on yourself. So it's a full circle. And if you're flying, you could well overshoot and cut someone off because you'll be coming around in groups. Remember, this is a draft legal race. You're going to be in packs. So if anyone cuts each other off there, you're going to be in Cuck Street with that person. Watch yourself. Watch where you are. My biggest recommendation to all of you is that you don't ride drafting if you're not comfortable drafting. If you're not a comfortable bike rider who's used to sitting on a wheel, don't do it. Because There is benefit, of course. It's quicker and easier to sit on someone's wheel, but there is the danger of crashing. It's not their responsibility to look behind and see where you are. If they move across your line, that's bad luck. Obviously, you don't try to change your line. We're all cyclists. We've all been in the Argus with the hold your line. It drives you crazy. If you want to be safe, rather just stay on your own, ride your own race, be safe. But if you're happy to ride in bunches, of course it's quicker. This is a draft legal race. It's a very exciting form of racing. If you've watched Super League, this is the shizzle. It's exciting. It's fast. You can average over 40 Ks comfortably just riding in a pack. But remember, the people in the front are the safe ones. The people in the back are the people who are scoring, but they've got the chance of crashing. Okay. So you're going to go around that circle. The drink station, I don't see too many people drinking on a sprint or a standard race. But if you do, especially if you've started the race, sprint guys, at least one bottle. Standard guys, if you think you're going to use more than one bottle, sure. But if you've pre-hydrated in the morning, which you should have been drinking from when you first got up. When you first had your brekkie and stuff, drink a bottle. Drink a bottle on your way in the car. Drink a bottle while you're walking to the start. As I said on the group, get into the water before you swim start. Have a lack of pee. Warm that wetsuit, but pre-hydrate. If you've pre-hydrated and you've got a bottle on your bike, you shouldn't need. But we do have a drink station at the circle, thanks to 32GI and Aquile. We've got a drink station there. It's on the right-hand side, slightly uphill. You pull out of the main road traffic because everyone's going to be keeping tight on the circle. You pull wide to the right, you get your drink, and you pull back in when it's safe. Okay, you go back. You don't go back all the way the same way. When you've gone past the bottom of the golf course, etc., down the bottom here, when you get to the stadium road up here, Fritz Sonnenberg, you're going to head right, and you're going to head past the stadium. All those Embark ATC people, you all know where you train, your head office, your time trials. That road, it's called Flay Road. This is Flay Road here. You're going to go past Flay Road, but you're going towards McDonald's. McDonald's is here. You're going to go all the way along that road behind the stadium. There's the main entrance for the stadium. There's Mickey D's. You head down towards towards the beachfront again. At that circle, we all know that circle next to what's called Alan Gray. You turn left. You go past the farmers market, past T1. You're on to lap 2. That was 1 lap. Okay, you're doing 4. You count yourself. All right. Honesty is everything. If we see you've won the race and someone says, hey, how did that oak go so fast? We'll go and look at your times. And if it's unreasonable, we'll have a chat to you, ask you for your Strava or your GPS file and see if you cheated. You don't want to cheat. I mean, who wants to cheat? Anyone can cheat. You can get a best friend who looks like you to go and race and finish the line, cross the line for you. Pointless. So count your laps. 4 laps standard, 2 laps sprint. Enough said. Oh, one more point. Men can draft men, women can draft women. As it says at the bottom there, drafting is legal, but stick to your gender. Men cannot draft women and women cannot draft men. So if you're seen by the refs on the course drafting another person of the opposite sex, you're going to get a penalty. Okay. On the run, okay, run course. You've now come into transition, which is on the field I mentioned just now. And actually, I need to go back and just show you a quick shot of coming into transition. Sorry, this is remiss of me. I should have showed you here. The 4th time, standard people, the 4th time you come past the stadium, or the 2nd time the sprint people come, you're going to peel off at the forecourt, just after the blue tartan track that's being renovated, which is why we're not using it. You'll peel off to the right, and you'll cross the forecourt. You all know what the forecourt is. It's a big place where they had the Formula E pit stop. You pull over there. You come across the forecourt, you go down and underneath the flyover that you would have walked under that morning to get to T2 and put your shoes down. You go underneath there. From that section there, after our RSA Web footbridge, it's a neutral section. You're going to go neutral, nice and sit up, nice and easy. Look out for your colleagues because now you're pulling into a tight area. You come up to T2. When you're outside the stadium, you're going to get off your bike. You're going to dismount outside the stadium and you're going to run into the stadium to rack your bike there. I should have mentioned that. Okay. So all 4 times or all 2 times the same, but you're not going back to T1. You're peeling off at the forecourt, coming down under the flyover, gently up neutral zone into T2 where you rack your bike and start your run. Okay. And you rack your bike over your running shoes and you put on your running shoes. Right. Onto the run. You've now racked your bike here, T2. You're going to head out of T2. You see the yellow line. You're going to go onto the field and you're going to run all the way around the field. Down the back of the stadium, around the whole area, by the trees. You can see those trees there. You're going to run down here, out the gate. You're going to run past where all the kids do their driver's license testing. You're going to come straight, and you're going to turn left into where you came out of earlier, just slightly to the left of where you came out of. You're going to run underneath the flyover, the same flyover you rode under that side. You're going to keep left, and you're going to run around the back, same as last year, same as the waterfront, the old Discovery Try. You're going to run along that road, head all the way out. It's not a road, it's a pathway, a public pathway. You probably run along there a lot. Past P4, the big stadium parking, straight. Don't turn right down Flay Road because you're still on lap 1 or lap 2, depending which race you're doing. You cross the zebra crossing. You go into the Greenpoint Urban Park. Okay? You're going to run down through the trees. Very beautiful. Here's Virgin Active Point. You can pass that field. You're going to stay on the concrete. You're not allowed off the concrete. You stay on the path. You'll see it marked on one side. The runners keep to one side. You run down at the turn off to Virgin Active and the exit of the park. You're going to go left. Don't go straight past the ponds and the tea room. You're going to turn left. Out the gate next to Virgin Active, down the road on the pavement where the time trial is, past the police station, stay on the pavement, turn right, one before Beach Road. You're going to come down the back of this road here on the pavement. It's all pavement, beautiful and wide. It's the park run course. If you're worried about not knowing how it looks or what it looks like, go for a run there in the next few days. It's a simple course to follow. Do it on the day of registration if you want. Take a walk with your family. Do it once. Ride it on a bike, mountain bike if you want. You come all the way down the outside of the golf course, on the outside of the fence. You turn right at the same road, Fritz-Sonnenberg, where the cyclists were earlier. You run all the way down here. And when you come to the Flay Road, you're not going to carry on past the stadium. You're going to turn right up Flay Road. You can run in the road if you want or on the sides. Our drink station, our Octatel Partners drink station for the run is here. So your first drink station on the bike is at the Bantry Bay Circle. Octatel are RSA Web partners. It's the fiber partners of RSA Web, the hosting partners of Internet Solutions. So these are two companies partnering, and Octatel is kindly partnering us on the drink stations. They'll be there to give you your hydration and your nutrition. You'll see it. Hopefully, if the wind's not blowing, we'll have the arch up, a big Octatel arch. You come there, grab a drink if you want, but probably not enough time. You don't really need it on a 5K or 10K, but worthwhile having a little sip and a grab or something. You carry on, and then where you split to go across the road, you then keep left. And you stay on the opposite side on the pavement. You follow the outside of P4, into the parking, onto the same forecourt that you cycled past earlier. Okay, I'll just go back there for a second. Oops. Same forecourt as you rode off earlier. Okay, you're now going to come in here, and you're going to be coming. Now, here's the cyclist still coming here. Here you come, hopefully running, and underneath, you'll turn and go underneath an arch. We've built stairs for the runners to cross the cyclists, because obviously at some stage, with the cyclists having to finish here and the runners having to finish here, runners had to cross cyclists. So when you come running in here, you'll run over a bridge. That bridge is what the cyclists just ran. This whole run course is flat, apart from this tiny little lift, this little uphill here underneath the flyover. The course is dead flat. You've got one little set of stairs up. All those people who went to Finland for Worlds, we did it 8 times, and it's a much smaller bridge than that. Up the stairs, across the top, down the stairs, and then you're on the other side. Because cyclists will be running underneath you. We'll be cycling underneath you. Cyclists, just a word, I didn't mention it earlier on the cycle course. I don't think anyone's tall enough to reach it, but watch your heads going under the runner's bridge. Okay? Because the cyclists, when you come off here and you start to head into the neutral zone, you're riding underneath an RSA Web branded bridge in order for the runners to get over the top of you. If you try and miss the bridge, you're going to run into runners. You're going to ride into runners. So anyone who tries to go on the outside of that, you're going to have a real problem. And obviously you're going to get disqualified if you get seen. You go under the bridge or over the bridge. Runners over, cyclists under. You come through here. Now you're on foot. So you're not going to go back in the front entrance to transition like you did earlier on the bike. You're going to run down the outside of the A track. You're going to go back down the road as if the cyclist route is there. You're running on the right-hand side. You're going in the back gate of the A track. Coming in past transition, you've now done 1 lap. If you're doing the sprint, you're done. Turn right under the arch to the finish line. If you're doing the sprint, the standard, you've done 1 lap and you head off on lap number 2. And lap number 2, you come in, finish line there. I haven't seen any questions. I'm hoping everyone's on top of it and feeling good. Okay. Stay on the marked pavement around the golf course. Please don't run on the road. Okay, transition, that's what it looks like. This is down at Grand Beach, transition 1. Okay, you would have swum, you would have started the swim over here. You would have finished the swim and come in this way. You'll come into transition this way. If your bike is here, you'll come down this way. If your bike is here, you'll come down that way. You'll grab your bike, you'll head out the gate, and you'll head out here. Here's the mount line, and off you go. If you're a spectator, you come this way in the morning. There's going to be a big coffee shop there. You can see Infinity Coffee is going to be there from early at 6:30 in the morning. I think they'll be ready from 6 already. You'll come in here, cross next to the pedestrian crossing, through the fence. We've made a special little spectator ramp through the fence and removed the piece of fence. You'll come down the right-hand side and into Grand Beach. Okay, that's spectators. The beach is on the front here, beautiful place to watch the swim from. So your racks are racked like this. You'll see your rack number there in the morning when you arrive at bike racking. You can rack anywhere on the rack. You won't have a numbered bike rack here. You'll just have a numbered bike rack here saying 1 to 50, 50 to 100, etc. The standard is on this side. The sprint is on this side. Okay, you'll see it. You'll see your bike numbers on the end of the racks. Okay, you rack there, you swim there, you come out, get your bike, helmet on, take your bike, run in here, jump over get over the mount line and start your ride. Don't get on your bike before the mount line. The refs will be here. Okay. Hopefully that's pretty straightforward. Just as I said earlier, when you finish, I'll show you now. When you finish racking your bike and you're ready to go down, I would recommend you walk down into the beach area in the front here. Have a look at the swim course from the beach. It's a cracking view of the swim course. Then come walking down here, go through the fence gap that you'll see here, down the carpeting. Belgatex carpeting have given us carpets to put down. Walk along the carpets down to the slipway, okay, to start your swim and your swim warm-up. When you finish the swim, you would have come in from here. Unless it's massive surf. If it's massive surf on the day and we're too scared of you coming onto the swim ramp, we're going to send you back the same way you came out. Okay, that'll be decided on the day. Right. Transition 2, I described earlier. This is up at the A track. Okay, we've got Spur providing burgers and all sorts, chicken burgers, veggie burgers, beef burgers, etc. on the day, and drinks, etc. They will be there on the day. So when you finish the race, there's lots of chow. Bring your family. If your kids are doing the kids cross-country course here, they got food, they got jumping castles, they got loads of space, gazebos. This is a very family-friendly event. Invite your friends and family. They'll have a jaw. They'll be inspired to do triathlon, hopefully. There's nothing else to do on a Sunday morning when it's windy and everyone's sleeping off bubbleasses. Don't let the kids feel the pain too. Feed a cafe, coffee, Frios, etc., snacks, muffins. The tri clubs, all your no tiles in transition. Yes, correct. Okay, the tri clubs, all your gazebos go along here. If you don't know if your club's got a gazebo, ask your club manager, because they should. If they have got one, you can go and chill there. You can leave your stuff with them before. You can leave your stuff there afterwards if you want to just leave a few things there while you enjoy your Vida, Spur, chilling on the grass. We'll have our big tent here. Here's our tent. You can lie on the grass. You can bring towel, blankets, whatever to lie on the grass. You can do what you like. It's super easy. There's a big grandstand over here, which is here, you'll see. And you'll have lots of space on the to watch the race on this side or this side of the finish line. The timing guys, the medics, etc. are here. When you finish the race, that table will take your medal from you. We'll give you your medal, but only if you give them your timing chip. Give them a timing chip. Only getting a medal if you do solo. If you're a team person, you don't get a medal because you obviously didn't finish the triathlon. It's a triathlon finisher's medal. You'll get a medal if you're a winning team, but you won't get a medal just for doing one part of a triathlon. So it's a triathlon finisher's medal. You give them your race timing chip. They will give you your medal. Then you get a drink here at the aid station from RSA Web. Obviously, our very generous, very awesome partners who we just love. They're also giving away some really nice checks for the winners, 6,000 and 3,000 Rand for of data time. What do you call it? Cable. So you've got a lovely space to chill. There's transition. There are some cars parked by SMG. This is the kids' track all around here. Some obstacles in there. We've got a little ramp. We've got some bags. We've got some hay bales. This is going to be a jewel for the kids. So that's where you'll do your thing. And you can see here clearly, bike in, run out. Lap 1, round the back. Lap 2, under the arch to the finish line. There's the blue carpet. Runners coming in from the circle, and at the end of your first lap, you're going down the road, and you're going to turn right into the back gate of the A-track. This gate is for bike in. This gate is for run in. Okay. This gate is for run out. Bike in, run out, run in. 1 lap for sprint, 2 laps for standard. Okay. Remember, no towels. Race kit is placed under your race number, and I mentioned the neutral section. Athlete parking on the day. Okay, we've got there is lots of parking opposite Giovanni's, etc. The whole, I think it's called the Grand Walk or the World Cup Walk or Fans Walk. All along there's parking. We will have a parking guard looking after cars. Obviously, you don't leave anything in sight because that would be mad. And then you can walk down under the slipway, under the flyover with your bike, with your running stuff to put there and your bike. Obviously, once you've placed your running shoes there, you can ride your bike down to go and drop off your bike and start your swim. So there's T2, there's the finish. There's parking also opposite the farmers market. There's the big 4-level parking there. I think one of the parkings is not accessible, but one of the levels because of the farmers market, but there's 3 others. And as I said in here, the waterfront roof parking, which is just actually right here where it says Grand Beach, just underneath here. It's at the end of Hall Road. Super perfect place to park. Also a parking option. So park in the purple places or in the waterfront, and then walk to running shoe drop-off, bike shoe drop-off, swim start. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Almost done. Quick thank you to 32GI who are doing the drinks. Your hydration drinks at the hydration station is 32GI. Okay? They'll have a range of supplements and drinks, etc. to test. You can get them obviously in stores all over the country. It's a very popular brand, but they'll also have them at the race registration. So you can buy a bit to have a little practice with and to have a taste, etc. And obviously buy your stash. They normally have good deals. And then the Tri-Shop SA will be those ones who have the Velcro straps, wetsuits, goggles if you broke yours, helmets if you broke yours like I did, elastic laces, which are really cool. Elastic laces, anyone who wants to be fast in triathlon, but don't put them on in the morning or the night before. You need to make sure they fit because you put them on, they look like they're stretchy, and in the day they feel super hard to get into. Get them right. Practice with elastic laces if you're going to try it. Okay. And then a big thank you again to our partners, particularly the City of Cape Town and RSA Web, and then obviously to the Grand Beach and Cafe, Quick Space, who create our office spaces, 2XU that are providing prizes and the swim course, SMG for the wetsuits, for the swim caps, and Prime Cleaning Services for their support with cleaning materials. And hopefully you will be as happy as she is and high-fiving the minstrels and being super stoked to have finished your first one and your second one in certain cases, and in some cases your third electric ink event for the year, in which case you're going to get your triple tri medal at prize giving. Okay. See, there's a question. Boxes at T1 and 2 optional. You need to have a box at T1 for sure, because your wetsuit is going to go into that, and that's where you're going to fetch it afterwards. If you leave it on the ground, it's not going to be in a box with your sticker on it. You have to have one in number 1. It's definitely optional at number 2. As Jono said earlier, the TSA, CTTA, they insist that the no towel, you put your shoes on the ground. Yes, there are markings on the run route. Yes, the course is marked. No, it's not going to be like Race to Hermanus. We did have a problem. We had people sent off the course. Hopefully the Cape Town people will tell us rather than us not knowing like we did at Race to Hermanus, and there won't be those kind of stuff up. It's simple, it's short, easy to follow. You can go and have a look at it in advance. And we've got 130 marshals. We're paying a lot of money. We're giving them each a cap. We're certainly looking after them. It's a huge cost. We've got 125 marshals on the course as well, keeping you safe. Not to give you directions, keeping you safe from roads coming in from the sides of the course. That's their job. Don't rely on the marshals for directions. Yes, sprint and standard are both draft legal. No TT bikes, no TT bars for both. It's in the race briefing. If you were watching the race briefing a few slides ago, that was there. So if you've got any questions now, I'm done. I think that's more than enough said. If you've got any questions, literally anything, from what to do, what advice, anything you might have missed, unmute yourself and ask me.
Yes, Paul, Michael, I just wanted to find if you can please just describe the transitions for teams a little bit more. Can the guys be fully kitted with their helmet on and everything for the transition zone, and obviously I'm assuming you just hand over the exact same timing chip.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't spend enough time on that. I'm sorry, I should have. So when the swimmer comes out, they will obviously have their numbers on their hands. They won't have a race number, but they'll have the timing chip. That's your team timing chip. Okay. The biker is obviously here with everything ready to go. Okay. His bike is prepared, etc. He stands at the entrance to transition. Okay. When you come into transition through the gate access to transition, you hand over your chip. He'll then run into transition. He'll do everything like everyone. He'll grab his bike. He'll head out. He'll already have his helmet on, so he's quicker than others. He'll come to the mount line and get on. So the swimmer hands over at the entrance to transition. Okay, hands over the timing chip. Then on the bike, the biker comes in here, racks their bike like anyone else, bike down safely before they don't have to take the helmet off, obviously. Then they run through to the exit of transition. The runner is standing just outside the entrance of transition. They pass them the timing chip, stick it on their ankle, and off they go. Happy?
Awesome, perfect, yeah. Then just another one, is there going to be any beer sold afterwards at the A-track? Or
No, so we don't. We haven't created a bar. There will be all kinds of cool drinks, but it's not a alcohol venue. So no. I think I don't want to say this too publicly, but if your gazebo staff at your club gazebo have got a cooler box with things in it, lekker. You've got your own space. You've got lots of stuff. We aren't selling alcohol at the finish.
Okay, cool, thanks. On that, the tri clubs and whatnot, we've got 4 teams from our company that are entering. Is it possible to set up our own gazebo space? Or
100%. What company is that?
Engineering Advice and Services. Yes.
Yeah. So no problem. You can message me if you like, but basically the simplest thing is on Saturday, you go to the field on Saturday afternoon. You go and put your gazebos down where the tri clubs are. Okay. Go there on Saturday. Blake will be there. Blake's my colleague, and the team will be there. Go and find your spot, mark your spot, put your gazebo down. Don't put it up because obviously it's going to be howling, and overnight if it blows away, that's your problem. Go and put down your markings, put your stuff down there, your chairs, whatever. Put them folded up next to each other. We will have security. Sunday morning, whoever your team representative is can go and pop up your gazebo, pop up your chairs, and get ready and be there with your stuff when you finish.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No cost. Thank you for supporting. And that sounds like a good team to be part of. Question here. When will the decision about... Sorry, I'm just going to quickly check that question so I can read it properly. At what stage do you make a decision about the race being affected by wind? Should it be too strong? We will make it on the morning at 7:30. The water safety team will tell us if they can't get boats onto the water to handle the water safety. Then at the same time, we'll have people who have already recce'd the course because we've got a really big team on the course doing every aspect of the team. So Chad and his team from Scalzini, they'll contact us and tell us if any part of the course is bad. We're very unlikely to change anything on the course because wind is wind. If it's very unlikely to howl in that area. It can be windy, but wind is wind. If it's ridiculous, obviously we'll have to make certain calls at certain places. I don't see that, but we'll make that decision before the race starts. I have a friend who wants to know about cutoffs. Mike Peltrit, of course it's a friend, it's not you. You're young and strong. You never thought about a cutoff in your life. You or the Stooges. So the cutoff was communicated quite a lot beforehand, but you can't be on your bike after 11 o'clock. So if you've started between 8 and 8:15 and you're still on your bike at 11, and if you're a sprint person and you started at 20 to 9 and you're still on your bike at 11, you probably shouldn't be doing a triathlon. So if you just keep riding it and keeping your act together, you'll be fine. But 11 o'clock, so if someone hasn't got onto the course, onto the 4th lap at 10:30, I think it's ready to 11, they're going to be suggested to pull off. If they haven't made it by the end of the bike course by then, they won't have made the cutoff. I hope that answers your question, Mike. Any other question? Anybody want to just mute and ask? Yeah, I'll let your friend know, Mike. Sure, I know what he looks and sounds like. Anyone else got any questions?
Hi, Paul. Greg here.
How's it, Greg?
Can we have a towel inside our box? Obviously, the box at T1 after the swim, and then a sweat towel at T2.
No, you can't have a sweat towel in T2 because that's what Western Province are saying. They've got a long story about it, that it creates an unfair advantage or something for people that are able to find their markers, etc., and it might get in the way of others. It's just shoes and stuff on the ground. I think maybe if Jono, if you want to answer this, can they fold up a little towel to dry off their faces next to their running shoes? When is a towel?
If I've got a box at T2, Paul, if I've got a box,
if you've got a box at both, you're fine. Absolutely.
Is it that I can put a towel in the box?
Totally. The box is yours. Money in the box. Put your stuff into the box. The box is yours to put your stuff into, but you can't put a towel on the ground with your stuff on top.
No, hundreds.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, as if the towel, and I saw that there was a question about that from Willem a little bit earlier. Willem, just to clarify there as well, if your towel is inside your box, and I know there are some athletes who like to dry themselves before they get onto the bike course, that is absolutely fine. You take your towel out, you put it back in the box, hey presto. The same goes for T2. If it's a small little hand towel to wipe yourself down, that's absolutely fine. It just needs to be folded up and next to your shoes. But what we're talking about is towels on the ground where you go and put your kit on. That is an identifying mark. And that under the World Triathlon rules, unfortunately, is not allowed. In fact, you won't even see it in some of your big Ironman races or challenge races. So hopefully that clarifies Willem's question as well as your question as well.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions?
Question. Hi there, it's Tracy. A question on valuables. So just before the race, a place for phones and car keys?
Good question. Very good question. I see you've done some public speaking in your life, judging by your picture. So Tracy, there is a place inside the gin bar. So if you don't have a mate watching that can keep stuff with you, or you've left your stuff behind, or you give it to someone at the A track where you put your running shoes down, you can put your stuff in a bag, and you can, when you come to registration, you can get a bike bag, a hand-in bag. It's like a streetwear bag, sticker. Then you're going to put it on your backpack of whatever kind, or whatever your bag is, a bag that closes, and you're going to hand that in on the morning at the gin bar, which is inside the Grand Beach, and that'll be there for you afterwards. So it's your own bag. We'll give you a sticker at registration. You put the race number on it. It's a blank sticker. You put your name on it. And when you hand it in on Sunday morning, we will look after it till you go down to the Grand Beach after you finish the race.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Any other questions before we sign out? Happy days.
Paul, can I just mention one thing before everyone leaves? Guys, with regards to the actual bike course, and Paul's gone and given an excellent race briefing to you. As he's mentioned, this is very tight. And yes, it is draft legal. We would prefer, from a safety point of view, especially in light of the fact that it is a lapped route, that you try and keep your riding to 2x2, as in, two riders next to each other in the groups, so that if a group who is faster than you is already on a lap ahead of you, is able to pass you and continue unhindered for their particular race. What I would also suggest is where you have to make a sharp turn. So, for example, the turning circle at the far end of the bike course, where you turn right into Beach Road and then obviously left back in, and then turning right into Fritz Sonneberg and going around the stadium, that you try and keep it there single file as you go around, just from a safety point of view. But if we can do that, it just allows a free-flowing thing. Otherwise, you're going to have bundles of people go across the entire section of the lane, and you're going to block people who are faster than you behind you, especially in light of the fact that the waves are race number-based, not on ability-based. So if we can adhere to that, I'd be greatly appreciated.
Great. Thank you, Jono. Very well, very important point you made there. Anyone else? I see there's a question about the swim. No, we don't have a cutoff for the swim. It's on the bike. Okay. I just want to say thanks. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for attending. Those who didn't attend, hopefully they're going to watch it online. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your participation. And we can't wait to see you Saturday. Come and say how's it. I'll be at registration. Sunday morning, bright and breezy. Hopefully, book colors still on our faces, tears still on our faces from happiness, not from the loss. But either way, what a lekker way to celebrate South Africa. Thank you, guys. See you on Sunday.